Hello, everyone, and welcome to our panel discussion today. Today, our guest is Mr. J.K. Jain and Mr. Sunil Singh from Rotary Club of Garden City, South Extension, New Delhi. And we are going to have this discussion on our Changemaker Life Skill program with them and how effectively we have implemented the program with the beneficiaries that we are impacting in that center.
Thank you, Vikram. So, to begin with, I will request you to kindly share a brief introduction of the project that you have undertaken with NIT Foundation.
Good afternoon, madam. Now, as you are aware, this is a project which has been started by our Rotary Club of Delhi Garden City. The idea which we were struggling was that there are lots of children in the slum areas which after passing 12th keep roaming around without any direction, without any objectives. They keep looking for something in life, but are not clear what to do and how to do. So we wanted to select those children and help those children in uplifting their life. And obviously getting job is one aspect of it. But more than job, more than skill and more than job, we thought that unless we change their attitude to life, the way they look at life, we will not be making a lasting change for them. So therefore, the way we looked at this program, it wasn't only a skill program. We said we will look at digital skill. And we also said one of the major skills we will work on is what we call as life skills, which is a little broader term of the way you look at life, communication, personal effectiveness, goal settings, all that we included under life skill. And then we said we will have functional skills also, because we thought only digital skills will again not be very lasting the way the technology is changing. So it should be added with some functional skills. So, objective behind this was again this, that these people will not happen to spend time for this kind of program very frequently. I think it is once in a lifetime kind of thing. So we need to make best use of it and give them all the tools for life. That was the basic objective we started with. We selected about 30 children from slum areas after doing thorough background check, aptitude test, as well as interviews of the family as well as of the children. And we thought these are the people who want to do something in life, therefore we selected them. And that's where we then approached you for a comprehensive association, not only for digital skill, but in all aspects of the program that we have envisaged. So that's the brief introduction.
Thank you so much. So, with this initiative of yours, where you wanted to impact the youth through NIT Foundation's Changemaker Life Skills program, what are some of the life skills you feel that the marginalized youth and children lack? And when you identified those skills that they lack, how did you feel that the Changemaker Life Skills program will help to achieve your program objective?
Yeah, so I think when Sunil did more interaction, but I also did few interactions with those people and went through the profile. But basically, what I think couple of things which hit me particularly was that they lack focus. That's one important part, that they are not very clear what to do and then follow it with determination. So they were frivolous. I mean, we'll do something here, something there, not pursuing anything with full dedication. That was one characteristic which was very clear, and that was also visible in the kind of results they got in 12th class. I think most of them were between 40 and 60%, which is visible. I mean, which shows that probably they were not focusing on studies also. The second thing, which actually was a positive side, that all of them wanted to make some change to their life and their family's life. I think the persons that we selected, this was one of the predominant characteristics we saw, that they were conscious that they need to make some movement and they need to improve their family's life. And they were willing to work towards it. So to me, these were the two characteristics that I found pretty dominating in the entire group. And when we went through the curriculum that NIIT shared with us, I think that's where I thought that starting with Changemaker, which is actually addressing the attitude part first, is important, because unless you have the right attitude, if let's say we can't make them focus on something, even if we have skill development, they will have the same performance as they did in 12th, right? Which will be they will learn half, they will not learn half. So to me, it was pretty important to realize, or to make them realize, that they need to take control of their life. Also give them confidence that they can progress, because a lot of these people were feeling, I mean, had virtually given up, saying this is how we will live. We can't do much in life, so we need to keep trying small things. I think giving them that confidence, making them focus, and leave their past behind, because I think one of the things when we started program came out very clearly, that all of them have had a, I would say, pretty bad past life. Majority of them, if not all of them. So we had to make them leave that past and focus on future if we actually wanted the skill development to be effective, right? So to me, these three characteristics, that the past has not been pretty smooth or pretty good for them, they lack focus, and they somewhere lack confidence or ambition, were the predominant characteristics, which when I went through the Changemaker curriculum, I thought it does address them and is right way to do, to start with it rather than doing it later, because by that time the skill development will be over. So it's better to make those attitudinal change right in the beginning rather than doing at the end.
I personally felt that Change Maker is actually a Change Maker program, and the right time to induct the Change Maker is the beginning of the program. And we personally felt initially that 15 days program will be a too much to have in to for a IT session, uh, which was actually planned for a IT curriculum. But when we went through 1, 2, 3, 4 sessions, and then I personally sat in one of few sessions, and because we had video recordings also to see what is going on. सबसे बड़ा चीज जो हमने रियलाइज किया कि ये बच्चे डेफिनेटली मोटिवेशन को लैक तो करते थे, उससे ज्यादा जो एक आपका एक पोर्शन है ग्रीफ साइकिल, दैट वर्क्स, जिसे बोलते हैं ना कि एक डॉट पे जाके क्लिक करना, एंड इफ दैट वर्क्स, सो आदमी एक इमोशनल जुड़ जाता है, यू कनेक्ट विद नॉट ओनली विद द ट्रेनर बट विद द थॉट एंड विद द आइडिया. सो वो फर्स्ट वीक में और 2 वीक्स में वो जनरेट होना बच्चों के बीच में, that was something a beautiful scene to see, because मैंने खुद बच्चों से जब बात किया और देखा तो बच्चे खुद आके ये बात बोल रहे थे कि नो दे वर नॉट, बिकॉज 12वीं तक पहुंच चुके हैं, कुछ लोग बच्चे नौकरी भी कर रहे थे, दे कुड नेवर वर्क इन अ टीम, दे कुड नेवर थिंक कि टीम वर्किंग का कुछ एक कॉन्सेप्ट भी होता है, और वो अकेले में काम करना चाह रहे थे, एंड दे यूज्ड टू थिंक दैट वी आर द बेस्ट. But through this session, they realized that teamwork can actually bring a lot more better work for the entire team, और सबके लिए फायदा होगा. So ये words actually इन बच्चों के हैं, and we have seen a lot of change. Now, since we are towards the almost 2.5 months of the first batch, and we've had multiple visits, so visible है इन बच्चों का जो चेंज मेकर प्रोग्राम में आप लोगों ने उनको सिखाया, वो quite visible है, and we are very happy with the fact that कि it was a good decision, or and I'm sure this will work it out for future as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sunil. So, what I hear you say that this program helped you to really work with the students to help them overcome all kind of fears, how to manage grief that happens with them, and any change that comes in their life actually brings grief. And through this, we are teaching them how to work with change so that they can really focus with confidence and move ahead in life. So, thanks for sharing this. I would really love to understand from you that how has this Changemaker Life Skill program helped you improve the outcome and results of your existing CSR project with NIT Foundation?
Dream and the purpose of the entire exercise and the entire dream was to train resources, train these kids to become a resource not only for the company, and they are utilized amongst सबके लिए जो अच्छे इंसान बन के निकल के आए. So उस ड्रीम को फुलफिल करने के लिए जो सबसे बड़ा जरूरत क्या था कि बच्चों का इंटरेस्ट, क्योंकि जब हम ग्राउंड पे पहुंचे तो दिल्ली में बहुत बच्चे हैं, ऐसा नहीं है कि बच्चों की कमी है, और बहुत सारे इंस्टीट्यूट्स भी हैं जो वो जाते भी हैं. बहुत सारे हमारे बच्चे भी अलग अलग इंस्टीट्यूट से पढ़ के आए हैं, अलग अलग एनजीओ से भी. बट द पर्पस वाज कि वो हमारे साथ रुकते हैं, क्या वो इंटरेस्टेड हमारे साथ में रुकते हैं. सो अगेन टू आंसर योर क्वेश्चन, द चेंज मेकर प्रोग्राम डिड हेल्प अस टू बिल्ड अ कॉन्फिडेंस जो हमें एक्चुअली रिक्वायर्ड था, क्योंकि वो 15 दिनों में अगर वो बच्चे कनेक्टेड फील करते हैं और अपने ग्रीफ से बाहर आके कुछ एक्स्ट्रा करना चाहते हैं, तो हमारे लिए आगे का जो कोर्स प्रोग्राम है उनको आईटी सिखाना, कम्युनिकेशन सिखाना या फिर फंक्शनल स्किल सिखाना, वो हमारे लिए डेफिनेटली इजी बन जाता है. सो यस, फॉर फ्रॉम माय साइड डेफिनेटली आई वुड लाइक टू से दैट इट हैज हेल्प्ड अस इन अ बिग वे.
We had taken these children for a factory visit to a company in Noida. And we had told them that to start at the factory, you have to make a presentation about that company. Okay. So these children, one, they worked in the team and put together a presentation. They also decided who will speak what kind of thing. So they selected 4 of them, and we didn't intervene. They selected themselves that these are the 4 children who will speak these sections. So when we asked them to make the presentation, they did try their best, but somehow one would say the performance was not up to the mark. Okay. Now we didn't say anything there. We of course appreciated this is a good presentation and all that. And of course the visit ended and everything. I went for a feedback session on Saturday to the center to meet all these students. And I was happy to see that all of them themselves said that our performance there was not good. Okay. When I asked them what was not good and why it was not good, they themselves admitted that we did not put in that much work as we should have. Then I said, what next? They said, we want to work to overcome this and come out with one of the best presentation. And they themselves decided that we will repeat the exercise and we have to go and attend the presentation on next Saturday. Okay, so they have said we will work out in the group another set of presentation and would like to present to you. Of course, they also said that we would like some inputs on this kind of skills. But to me, coming to a stage where they openly admitted without any prompt from us that their performance was not good, and saying with confidence and determination that we want to make good, to me, it's a pretty courageous step and shows how far we have brought them, basically. I don't think there can be a better example than this particular thing of the success that we have achieved in 2 months, essentially.
Thank you so much. I think you very beautifully explained that how they're actually taking ownership of their life and their goals now.
Absolutely.
So with this, while we did understand one aspect of it, however, it will be great to understand that what are some of the perception changes that you're observing in these youth after they are in the course of completing their program or they have completed their program. So all students who have gone through the Changemaker Life Skills program, what changes are you observing in them? Sure.
The very first change, which we and very evident to me and everyone and to themselves is that they have built a level of confidence in terms of talking their emotions. Now again, subject we are teaching them. So one, confidence building has been a drastic change. With that confidence building, they have adopted some exercises for themselves. And when we see what are those exercises, for example, if I say that because one of the session they were told that you have to pick up something, which a change which you're not doing regularly in your life. So some people have picked up to get up early in the morning, and some people have picked up of practicing English, not everyone but some of them, which they never did in the past. Some people who were never friends, were never in a group, now they come and say, and they actually, it shows that yes, they are part of the group. There has been, when you are in a group, there are conflicts also which goes, and then they resolve themselves. So yes, these are certain changes which we see with this change maker agenda, has is quite evident to amongst all these students.
I mean, to me, some of the team bonding does happen when you stay for 2 months, 3 months together. But I think what I noted was that that kind of team bonding that you would expect after 2, 3 months, I noted it in the first week itself when I went after the first week to meet all of them. I think the group was quite together, quite open and friendly with each other, and were not hesitating to talk about anything. Okay, so that was one, this thing, the hesitation part had gone away. The team bonding had built up quite strongly. They could talk very freely with the faculty as well as with each other, crack jokes also about each other. So they were pretty comfortable. And mind you, all of them are coming from different areas, and they were not known to each other earlier. Okay, because they are from different areas and different schools. The other thing, of course, which is also reflected in the confidence part is that they did start speaking some English words, and will admit कि मेरी English टूटी फूटी है, but I am still trying. So I think I liked that particular thing, the admission that I am weak, but I still want to make an attempt. So that change was quite noticeable, frankly, in these students. And I think we wanted that change because, to me, more than skill, if their attitude changes, I am sure they will progress over life. Skills can always be learned when you go along, if you have that attitude to learn. So that's the basic change, that the attitude and the confidence to take that first step to learn was visible.
Thank you, Mr. Jain. So, do you have any suggestions for us that how we can make it more effective, or in terms of implementation, you have any suggestions?
No, see, I think the program is pretty good. The way it is delivered is very good, because I like that part. Ki after every few sessions, you have a pause or a stop take and summarizing what we have learned and how do we implement. I also like that part ki you work in a smaller group first and then take it to the bigger group. So the way I understand is that there are groups of 4 each. They do exercises in that group and then take it to the larger group, the same thing, and talk in the larger group. So those are, I think, good parts of the program. I think the only suggestion I have is, and based on experience, see, particularly for these kinds of children, the attitude change is a major fundamental change. Okay, unlike a skill where I can say, okay, I have taught, you can practice. This is a pretty strong fundamental change. So it is important, how do we persist with this agenda, and how do we ensure that they are pursuing that agenda? So I have seen and have experienced that, let's say, whatever was the commitment energy in the first 15 days, gradually it is started going down, frankly, right? To some extent, it is natural. We can't be with them throughout. But to me, it seems we need to find a way that at least for this 4-6 months period, how do we keep reinforcing this particular attitudinal change thing? And I mean, yes, you may say I'm an old timer, but I still feel that some of these changes happen through in-person interaction. The online or the virtual interaction is not able to have the same effect. So maybe if you can configure in the program some kind of stock take at defined frequency and an interaction with the students, including some part of one-on-one interaction where there is slow progress or there is no progress. I'm not saying it has to be done only by NIIT Foundation. Maybe the sponsor and the NIIT Foundation together can pool the resources and see that how do we provide some kind of continuity in this interface so that there is at least at the end of the course, there is lasting change. Basically, that's the only suggestion I would like to make in this. But otherwise, I think basic technology, the topics, the methodology is pretty good. The teachers are good, at least which were sent for this particular program, because you need little experienced people who have connected with this kind of thing for little longer. So you had selected those teachers and they were good, frankly. In fact, the kind of attachment which children have with those teachers is still pretty strong, right? So I think that those parts are pretty good. It's just that some kind of continuity we need to build for longer lasting.
Thank you so much. Yes, I think those are valuable suggestions to just go back and check whether the change is sustainable or not. And it is a valuable way of looking at the whole outcome. Thank you
Correct.
so much. So it will be interesting to know that with so many beneficiaries, is there any impactful story that you can remember um, that the Changemaker Life Scale program has created and really brought about a change, or someone who has really transformed because of this program? So it will be interesting to hear if there is any such story.
See, frankly, I haven't done that kind of interaction, but what we have asked students now for our newsletter to write individual stories, and we will be getting it in week 10 days. So that time, of course, we can share that. But probably Sunil has done more one-on-one interaction with the students. So Sunil, if you have something, you can share that sort of thing.
Sir, I think best idea would be to have children speaking on this. But on behalf of children, I can only quote one story about one of our student uh, who came, who is so during the selection process, we realized, and we did not realize, she's 26 years old, and comes from a very financially very different background, and she was not expressing herself, in terms of what she's going through. So in due course, when this program happened, and then because I make my visit twice a week, and then once in a week during Saturdays, I would personally go and speak to the children, and then I realized that while she spoke about her problem to everyone, first she was hesitant, and then she spoke and she cried and cried for few minutes, and not only once. Every time she would talk, she will cry, because now she was not able to talk what problem she was going through. So now if you come and see that girl, and if you see, her name is Pooja Baghel, and if you come and see her, there's a huge difference in her. You see a beautiful smile. Somebody was not smiling at all. You could see that sadness in her body language. Even though she was there, we realized that she didn't even have money to come to the center. And then now she's managing with good attitude, with a beautiful smile, and she's learning well. this was one of the story I could only tell you. There are more, but it will be good to hear from Ritika, who's spent more time with them, and your trainer from NIIT Foundation, and also some of the kids. I'm sure they will be vocal enough to talk about it.
Thank you so much, Sunil. And I think what you said is right, that they can actually share their own transformation story. But from one incident that you have shared, I think the program helped to change the sadness or grief into happiness and, taking pride in what she was learning.